Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, back to another Star Wars action figure review. And today, once again, I have a figure from the 3 3/4 scale of the Star Wars The Black Series toy line. And this is, for some, a very much anticipated figure. This is Mara Jade, also known in some circles as Mara Jade Skywalker, the wife of Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. So this was definitely the figure I wanted the most from this wave, and despite maybe some shortcomings, I still think it's a great figure. We'll go into more detail on that in a moment. First, we'll show you the packaging. And again, as usual, we have this very, very minimal, basic Black Series packaging, mostly black, just a little bit of orange there. We see Star Wars The Black Series. This is figure number 14, Mara Jade. And we have the little black and white profile image there. And we have the orange lighting strip thing down the side. And the Hasbro logo. Flip it around. And Star Wars logo. Number 14, Mara Jade. An assassin for the Emperor Palpatine. Mara's life changed when she meets and eventually marries Luke Skywalker. That's all we get as far as a background. And again, another cool black and white image. Now, this is a figure I would have loved to have seen on a vintage collection card. Maybe we'll get a reissue or an update one day if the vintage collection comes back. But for now, we have this basic black and white. Down here, StarWars.com, Hasbro logos. Something interesting, if you notice, look on the proof of purchase, it says Mara Jade Skywalker, whereas up here it just says Mara Jade. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so here we go. All right. Okay. Really great figure. We're going to go into some of the other details. There's something we'll get into in just a moment. I know you're all thinking about it. Very basic, mostly black costume there. The pants, the top, the boots. There isn't too much detail. We do have some little straps on the back and little silver paint there. So a little bit of detail. Would have been nice if we'd gotten maybe something on the knee pads. But we didn't. They kept it kind of simple. Again, you can see a similar kind of strap on the back of the shirt with like a silver buckle. But that's, as far as color, that's about it. Very black gloves. Okay, nice silver paint on the buckle. There's one problem right there. She comes with a couple of different accessories. One is this blaster pistol, which again, it's all black. It's sculpted okay. Little bit of silver paint, little extra touches would have been nice, but this is what we get. Then we have the lit purple bladed lightsaber, and this is nice. It's mostly silver, got a little bit of black, so that's painted a little better. It's a little more sculpted, so a little more detail there. She does also have an unlit lightsaber hilt, so you can see there. So that looks good, and you have the peg, which does fit in the peg hole that's on the belt here. And it's a kind of a tight fit, so it stays on, fairly well. One thing is the hands that the weapons are in. These are kind of the hands that they're meant to have, because the blaster just fits better in this hand, and the lightsaber fits better in this hand. You can put it in either one, but they just fit better in those respective hands. We're going to go into articulation. You have a ball-jointed neck, ball and shoulders, ball and elbows, ball-jointed upper torso, and then we have swivel hips, ball-hinged knees, and ball-hinged ankles. Now, here's the one detail that many people have been discussing, the head sculpt. Now, the facial sculpt, people are saying doesn't look too good. I don't think it's that bad. If you read some of the books where she's described, she's never been described as like this ridiculously like gorgeous, like most beautiful woman in the galaxy face, not ugly, but she's never, been known as, supposed to be known as this, great, lovely beauty, so plus you gotta think about it like this, there's no real evidence or image to, refer the face to. It's, there's no she's never been in a live action movie of any sort. It's not like Princess Leia where we can say, well, the face looks like Carrie Fisher, or with Padme, the face looks like Natalie Portman. Here's to hoping that we get to see Mara Jade in episode 7. But there's the face sculpt. I don't think it's that bad. I think for me, the bigger issue I have is with the hair. I like the way it's sculpted, and there's a little bit of kind of black in there. It's not just orange, so it looks a little more realistic looking. It's just a little big. It's a little poofy. It's like it's mid to late 80s, early 90s kind of. She's got that big hair, so not big on that. But looking at it in person, like from certain angles, it looks okay, and just it looks better in person than from pictures. But again, it all depends on your personal preference. So it's not bad. I've seen worse. Shea Vizsla, anybody? If we remember that face sculpt, everyone hated that face sculpt, maybe even more. But still, I think a pretty good figure. One other item before I forget is she does have this holster. It's a working holster for her blaster, and it has this peg, and the blaster fits really nice in there. Okay, and it can be clipped on 2 different spots. You have right there, which is nice. We have a little bit of silver paint there, and you also have that option of putting it on the back, and you can just kind of put it in position to the side so you could have the blaster behind her or to her side. One problem with that is the holster very much falls off very easily. So if you get it on there, you decide where you want it, decide how you want it displayed, and then just you got to kind of leave it. So that is one fault there. Like I said, there's the unlit lightsaber, and that she can hold that pretty well, and that fits okay on the belt. Now we're gonna go here. If I can borrow a line from Pixel Dan, we're gonna do a little comparison time. So this is the Mara Jade figure that I have from a comic pack from several years ago, and it's basically the same outfit, just obviously differently colored. Okay, but you can see now they put silver paint on the leg armor, the knee pads, and they just made this basic black. The facial sculpt here I think is much better. The hair is just all that one color. So I may try and do a little head swap. Maybe this will work a little better. I'm not sure about that. There's probably some others that may have tried that. The lightsaber, the hilt is a very bendy hilt, so it's not as strong. It's this lighter purple, which I don't like. So the lightsaber I think is done much better here. And also the blaster. You have this holster with the blaster, but it's a molded piece. That's not removable, which I don't like that. Here, obviously, we get a working holster and a blaster that you can remove from, and give you a little more extra play value there. And this Mara from the comic pack also comes with this like scarf, like headdress thing, which we see if you look on the packaging here. You see her wearing that here, and it was not included on this figure. So, and I don't think this will fit over the big hair. You could try it, but I don't think that'll work. So overall, I would say this is still the better figure, mostly because, well, the lightsaber is done better, and the articulation is a lot better. This one suffers from the swivel elbows and no ankle articulation, things like that. So we'll put her aside. And one other thing to point out is, again, the joints are painted real well. See, the knee joints and the ankle joints and on the elbow. They painted them that flesh color, so it's you can still see them, but they're less noticeable. So that's a good job. So overall, I like the figure. I really do. I'm glad that we got an updated Mara Jade. It's been a while since we've gotten a Mara Jade figure. There've only been that few. There's, like I said, the comic book pack one, and there may have been one other. I'm not positive, but so maybe in the future we'll get another Mara Jade with like a slightly different head sculpt. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this figure. It's a great character. It's one of my favorite EU characters. Probably my favorite, in fact. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite EU character. So I'm glad that we got an updated version. Not a definitive version yet because of the head sculpt. But again, that's up to you guys to decide on what you guys think. So there you have it. This is Star Wars The Black Series 3 3/4. Figure number 14, Mara Jade. Still a great figure despite any shortcomings she may or may not have. So hope you enjoyed this review. And comment, rate, subscribe. And as usual, stay tuned. And until my next video, may the Force be with you.